just a short fuse away from a total confrontation between the black and white man. We want with freedom, may people say. They have made it very plain. No more turning back again. Freedom is the only answer. No compromise, no surrender. Lord, I see it death in South Africa. Help me, Father, help me. How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die for their liberty? Lord, how many more before you set South Africa free, Mr. Botha? How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die for their liberty? Lord, how many more before you set South Africa free, Mistress Thatcher?
Yes, indeed, of course, a pleasant good night to all and sundry, East, West, and South Central of West Tobago. And wherever you are, streaming on the World Wide Web, pleasant good night to you. This is, of course, the corridor transformation. Of course, we just came from the ceremony relating, of course, to the inauguration of the 8th Prime Minister of this country. And that is, of course, Kamala Prasad-Bisesa at President's House. Yes. Of course, my deputy leader, as well as, of course, myself, were there. Yes, I took on a picture with her, but of course, unfortunately, it was on my camera, so I'm unable to show you it tonight. So as to demonstrate irrefutable proof that I was at the President's House tonight. But certainly, of course, I think the people leader would have had a picture as well, not with Kamala, but of course outside the precincts of the President's House or President's office, and therefore, of course, I'm sure that before the night finishes, you will get an appreciation as to the proof of that fact. But of course, today, a glorious day, and of course, Kamala Prasad-Bisesa, a glorious speech in terms of course, why she, of course, accepted the challenge to of course, become twice only female Prime Minister in this country. Between 2010 and 2015, indeed, she was, of course, the Prime Minister. And now, of course, from 2025 to, of course, 2030, but, of course, the next Prime Minister, or the current Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. So, of course, present good night to all and sundry, East, West, North, South, Central, once again. It is the corridor transformation, your host, Lennox Smith. But I promised last night that I will bring a youth man on tonight, and so he is here. Of course, he will introduce himself, and he will, of course, tell us what are some of the issues that they considered when, of course, they went to the polls just about 2 or 3 days ago, as far as the 25th, or should I say, the 2025 poll that, of course, Trinidad and Tobago experienced, meaning that in the national elections, and of course, what would have motivated them not only to go, but to of course, cast their vote whichever way. I'm going to be objective tonight. I'm not going to influence one way or another. Yes, indeed. Oh boy. Well, as you see, we are in fact here. Let me just make sure. And all right. So we are on because here it is. I didn't see it. Okay. So here we are on, of course, right now. So if you are on YouTube, well, of course, you log into Corridor Transformation with Lennox Smith. If you are on Facebook, then you log on to Alfred John on Facebook, Alfred John, and of course you'll be able to join us. Don't forget, of course, we take your calls a little later, and that is, of course, on the 337-6940. 337-6940. That being as it may, people, of course, let me just, of course, formally introduce. Let me just replay this again, because I think How many more must die, I think is most appropriate. How, how many more of our youth must die? How many more of our infants must die in the ICUs? How many more of our elderly must die? It is called geronticide during the course of the COVID-19 episode in Trinidad and Tobago. So therefore, so much so that you have about 3 or 4 ministers have been called the bearers of death. The Minister of National Security, Hines, the Minister of Health, the RCC, and of course, the Prime Minister himself, Chief Christopher Rowley. All of them were termed to be bearers of death in government. But that being as it may, we of course will take your calls, as I said earlier. Don't forget, share. We're looking for 40,000. We are targeting 40,000 viewers every night. So we have, of course, as I said, we have, of course, in studio our resident, I should say, businessman, who is here as well, and he will, of course, entreat the team. But for the time being, we will have, of course, this young man, and we'll glean from him some of the things that the young people were looking for, not only in this election, but beyond the election and before this election. All right? Before the Central Africa free. One man, one vote. Of course, President good night, my friend. Of course, introduce yourself, say who you are, and of course, from what community you belong. And of course, it's an open forum. As I said, we are going to, I promised to, of course, remove the background. But I thought that today was a special day in Trinidad and Tobago, in that, of course, a lady, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, twice the Prime Minister, inaugurated, I think is a historical occasion. And of course, let's face it, love is part and parcel of the coalition of interests, and therefore, of course, we expect that in the not too distant future, I understand that some of the other persons who have been selected for managing the affairs of Trinidad and Tobago for the next 5 years will also be, of course, disclosed or presented to the public. We in Glove have not yet known or have not been abreast as to what role we will be playing, but I expect that we will be playing a role, and of course all of that is entirely in the domain of the Prime Minister now having been, of course, inaugurated, or should I say, has been certified as such by the President of Trinidad and Tobago, Mrs. Kangaloo. That being as it may, my friend, just there's a camera there, so of course, just tell us who you are, and of course, and you will tell us some of the things that the young people will have been looking for, whether in the past, whether in this elections or after the elections. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Steve Ford, and I'm a member of the community of Port of Spain, specifically Nelson Street. For years we have asked, for years we have complained for so much time that jobs was not given to us, opportunities was not given to us. We asked and we begged the past governments, and we also asked and we begged this government, and this government has brought us to us in the years that has passed. Yes, everyone will have their slip up, yes, everyone will have their mistake, but that is just humans. But what I admire most about Ms. Bissessar is that she is one that is willing, and she is one that is always there for the youths. The times that Mr. Rowley made it hard for us was the times that Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar would have made it easy. Times that we as youths couldn't be afforded the opportunity to have Wi-Fi, internet. We'd have been given the laptops. We'd have been able to do our school assessments, school assignments, these things. Times where it is Mr. Rowley what should have been on the ground in our community the UNC, they would have sent people that would have been on the ground in our community to see what we needed, what was our problems. We need jobs, we need opportunities. We have young fathers, we have young mothers, we have young children that is growing up, that is going to need that sort of leadership in the community. They are sending people there that is making no sense. That is making no sense, but we as the youths are asking their chance, we are asking, please, we are begging, Mrs. Bissessa, as you say love, when you win, everybody wins. We are asking that we must win. We as the youth put you there because we know we shall win, and under you shall always win. We are asking that all that you do is give us the opportunity to show that we are worthy. We need works. We don't need contracts for 3 months where they are giving us contracts for 3 months and after the 3 months we are out of our work. We need contracts for 3 months where we can show how responsible, show how good working, show how hard working we are, and we will be permanent. We will have opportunities to make our family lives better. The elders, they ask, what PNM do for me? What UNC do for me? I don't look at what PNM or what UNC do for me, but what they shall do for the community, for the ones that is coming up after us, for the ones that is coming up under us, for the ones that is coming up like our children, our grandchildren, our great-grand. In a community where thieving is being done, where robberies is being done, where these things is being done, we need assistance, we need people like the Honorable Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bissessa that shows that love that comes out and helps and remains there as a mother figure, not Mr. Keith Rowley that made it hard for his own people. Under him there was so much murders, under him there was so much crime, under him there was so much of negativity. Now under the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bissessa, we ask that, we not ask that, we know that there will be positive, we know that there will always be greatness, the money will flow plentiful in our spaces, in our homes, in our areas. So that when we are given opportunities, we will grasp at it, we will take it with ease. We will not disappoint you, for we are asking, and we have been asking for years. We need opportunities like this. We need opportunities where people can see the power and see everything that we can give and we are willing to give. Don't feel because we as little black children mean we can't do nothing. We as the ones that Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bissessa is the mother of, she's the mother of our nation. When she wins, when UNC wins, everybody wins. Everybody wins. Nobody loses. Everybody wins under the UNC, and that is all I have to say for now.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, for the first time, I want to say I'm at a loss for words. I mean, I'm so impressed with of course, the expression and the articulation of the issues relating to young people, particularly in a community like this. We are on George Street, yes, in our information center, our communication and information center. And I want to tell you that that is the kind of young people representation in terms of the needs and the wants and the aspirations. And that is ubiquitous. It is universal. It is a cry that many people in high office will not be able to not just respond to, but because they fail to take time to listen to them. And therefore the corridor transformation is that vehicle through which we can reach, or supposed to reach, those who are in decision-making positions. And mind you, this is not only in the context of the UNC and Kamala Prasad Bissessa and the corridor, and of course the coalition of interest. No. The corridor transformation has been around for almost 3 years. And therefore, we have been bellowing all of that. We talked about the MLIO initiative, the Mobile Lavatil Improvement Organization. We talk about, of course, the ad hoc committee for the eradication of crime in Lavatil. We talked about, of course, the MLI making a Mobile Lavatil initiative, which, of course, are anti-crime initiatives in an attempt, of course, to break down borderlines and to, of course, eliminate as far as we can the gang culture that, of course, is fueling, of course, murders and killings of our young people. And, of course, the other aspect of it is that, of course, the whole question of home invasions and other crimes that are of a criminal, well, of course, all crimes are of a criminal nature, but certainly in terms of robberies, in terms of not just home invasions, but in terms of larceny and in terms of course, kidnappings, etc. And all of those are issues that these young people are either engaged in or have a responsibility to each other to say we must not engage or disengage because we have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 multiple alternatives. And when that alternative does not exist, when of course a government sees them as a mere opportunities for the police to make interventions and of course quell and of course create the harsh and draconian and of course bellicose and atrocious interventions that either ends up in those young people dying or they are in prison or before the courts, and we can go on and on in terms of the negativity. Yes, indeed. So I want to ask my friend a question. What's his name again?
Mr. Ford.
Ford, listen. Tell me something. Why is it that I have witnessed for the first time, I want to tell you that, and I've been around for some time now. There's so many young people, and they prove it to me. They said, listen, Mr. Smith, I'm going to vote for the first time. Let me see my name. So I had to go on the computer and, of course, find out where they're voting. About 3 or 4 of them was voted outside of Port of Spain. They voted in Sawa and so on because they never changed their address and so on. And they said, Mr. Smith, just give me the passage. I'm going, but I will prove to you that I vote when I come back with my finger stained. And it occurred. Tell me something. Why at this time? Because as I say, I've been around for some time. So in other words, I'm telling you that before this particular campaign period and Kamala Prasad Bisesa having won and of course coming into office now, that wasn't so. Why these young people have gravitated now, having regard of course to all that has transpired. Go ahead.
Well, sir, to be honest with you, we live in that time now where things is harder and it is very difficult for us to see our way, for us to be given opportunities. I myself sign up for certain programs, MIC, UTT, plenty programs. And up till now, I haven't been given the opportunity to go.
Do not call it the camera.
I haven't been given the opportunity. And it was under the PNM